this is making sure that you are aware of your diet, how many phone calls you've been on, how many loser user groups you've been part of. Are you only doing listening because you never get a chance to say anything? Are you spending time in a forum where you say one thing and then the moderators decide not to approve your post? So there are characteristics that can be considered statistics for you, and that your characteristics of you being a shop owner are clearly known by you because you have your own documentation. How many times you've gone live, how many photographs you've taken. Do you put products up and then bring them down? And, they just want to comment. It's very hard to yo 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 to the yo 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 and phew, I made it. All right, let us dance together in just a moment here. Welcome, welcome. And if you don't know the drill, we have a countdown, then we run through the prior reels. Talk to you soon. Of course, you buy your gifts on Etsy because you're buying for people that are interesting in your life and maybe picky, or, as they say, hard to shop for, or you are known for being able to locate that perfect gift for the recipient. So they are really wanting to reign supreme. And so they built this search engine of sorts that walks you through almost like you're being interviewed. So you're shopping for a bird watcher. You are rather sensitive. You want to make sure that Etsy favors these. So maybe this was the reason that they put the Etsy pics there, so people have a little bit more shopping confidence, and or they interested in jewelry and or stained glass, etc. So it makes it more, well, first of all, it's a wonderful little search engine. Good morning, crazies. Welcome to the AM show. How is everybody? I want to make sure that, just as always, I want to make sure that we have our volumes up, going good and strong. And we do. They were over at YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Let's get a little bit of a welcoming bit of chat over on YouTube. A very interesting point about going live with you guys. It might be the time of day. It possibly could, but we're building slowly rewatchers. So if you're coming in and you're a rewatcher, I want to honor you right now. And it would make sense, right? Because 9:55, 7 days a week, that's kind of a big lift on that. Let's go ahead and go over to Twitch and check out our mic levels on Twitch. Can you hear us there, Twitch? Ooh. Oh, you know why? Because I put the tab on mute. No problem there. Welcome, Twitchers. Then we are live on X. My homies, my buddies, my super crazies. Can you hear me over there? Yeah, okay. We give ourselves a thumbs up at the same time that I'm speaking to a wider audience, just so you guys know. And what I mean by wider audience, I'm just saying people that might want to pick up on my view of the stock price, Bitcoin, general kind of crazy stuff that I talk about. But more specifically, as we move along, what I'm here to do really is to address the Etsy shop owner, and this is to service my own needs as well, as we are going to be launching our store in June. So all of the bits and bobs that I'm discovering are to fuel my knowledge base, but what I recognize in the experience that I've had in life, I'm trying to match up. Nothing better than to do something that's matched up early on. But I don't know what percentage it should be. It should be about 20%. You should be have experience in doing something, and then let another percentage fill in where you're flexible and you're listening to others and you're okay with that. And then the remaining is just full on life beta, where you must be nimble and intelligent, mindful, kind, etc. All of those things in order to be a fully fleshed out um, still beta. So, thank you. I love that you would stop your scroll, as they say, and take a listen. So, today, of course, we have a runner show. I thought maybe today was not going to be really that long, but let me plunk up the runner show, take that branding down right now because you do not need that anymore because you know what's going on with the reels. And today I'm actually going to try and play, never done this before, try and replay one of my clips that's over on the YouTube channel. I want to see what that kind of looks like. So, as the day would have it, and this is the part that maybe things would seem to be boring, the AM show handles a motivational moment for shop owners. And today, what I had written over at X was that I thought that I would focus it on giving praise to others. Giving praise to others will be our motivational moment. The market is not open. However, when I was pulling up my tabs, more than likely we are going to float through where the war price ended because we did fall back another 0.5% after the market closed. So Friday was left with a little bit of a thud. And in looking at sort of what was out there, I didn't think that the recent news I didn't want to cover. It was about all the jobs women can have, pet sitting and an Etsy store. And I just have a big argument with all of that. I understand why there's these articles, but I just didn't think it was necessary. And it was a very long article for us to go through there. So I thought, you know what? Why don't we take a shove back in time and look at Etsy's very first landing page? Its very first landing page. So we're going to run through that and talk about that. So there's going to be a little bit uh, to deal with the market and generally Etsy, just generally as a business. The gift mode persona, I did announce it last night. It is the vegetarian. Uh, and we did find our cover girl, so we are going to visit that. So as you can see, more than likely, maybe the show will still be an hour, but if it's abbreviated, what you gonna do? As a side note, what I'd like to do before we get into the motivational moment, let's make sure that I know what that is. It's giving praise to others. I don't know why I can't remember what I'm going to be speaking about because the motivational moment so far has not really been planned out. It happens as I'm talking about these things, and then we're able to pull the clip from the actual live. So today, the motivational moment is going to be focus on giving praise. Um, Before we get to that, we took some photographs today. So, I have the Color Aid. You guys know about Color Aid? Color Aid. And trying to match the landing page, the front page of Etsy. So I miscued on. I chose a warm green, and it's actually, I believe it's a bright cold green. So the yellow I got right. We take it over to the iPhone and take some photographs with great lighting, and all it is just a tobacco stained. It's so unusual. I am going to share it though because I do believe people probably have struggles. In fact, there are product photography coaches for Etsy, if you can believe it. And so I am going to be probably trying to define what it is. Is it the lumens in the lamp that we use for lighting? That's possible. Did I miscue on the green? Absolutely. Did we put a filter on the iPhone and we are just unaware of it, sort of, kind of? So we're going to talk about and just see where the photography is right now and begin to break it down and figure that out. Some people have light boxes. We have a studio area that acts like a light box. But this photography was just grab my color aid, lay the color down, snap the photo, and see where we're at. And you may need to know is that our entry into Etsy, as I show the product, our entry into Etsy are purse charms that are made with a laser printer, laser machine, for wood lasering and cutting, burning, as you would say. So the designs, of course, are mine, the layouts, the rivets, and all of that. But being that it's the first time, never worked with a laser before, and so our entry is a very, you could say, um, well, why don't I just go ahead and show what we've got? You've already seen on X things that we've shown, but this is what we ended up with. This is straight from the iPhone, no filtering, great light, and this is supposed to mimic the landing page. Now I'm going to go over to the landing page and bring that up just so that we can see. Let's see if can I showcase it so we can see how far off we are. And I know that some of you are just brilliant and you'll know exactly, Beauty, this is what you need to do. And we got you covered. So let me present and the share screen and go to the Etsy shop so that we can kind of see what we're looking at here. Okay, so hide that. Where am I? Here's that. Okay, get rid of the banner. Don't need to see that anymore. Hide that. Okay, so show that. All right, so do you see the problem? That to me is reading as if we have a filter that on the iPhone that is stucketh. So whether it is a vintage filter or something like that. Now I will tell you that the green, and I should just go get it so I can read it to you. The yellow up above, that yellow up above is in fact the same color as the Etsy. Let me hide this. This is the Etsy landing page today, right? And our whole theory is that everything that we do should be in flow with Etsy. And this is the photograph that I was able to get today. Big problem to solve, and once it's solved, then we're totally good. But today we're not so good. The pictures that we have shared on Twitter have all gone through Canva, and I have had to adjust some things over Canva. but because it's got other logos and so forth on it, it hasn't really been that big of a deal. There's lettering, there's wording, and there's other kind of styling going on with the product. But that's where we're at, and woe is me. Crazy. Not a fan. Just saying. Okay, and then that's it. You understand that the gift mode persona today is all about the vegetarian, and we are ready to visit the persona. I have my tabs up. Like I said, we did find the cover girl. It's a radish, a cloth radish, like a little pillow, little plushy toy that's in the shape of a radish. Super adorable. So make sure that you hold on for that fun. Oh my goodness. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I see you very much. All right. Let me see here. Oh, 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 didn't want to do that. Do not need to do that one. I'm going to get you over there. Okay. So, motivational moment. Okay. Giving praise to others. It may be because one doesn't ask for praise. There's some people that walk through life. Oh, first of all, this is for Etsy shop owners. This is just for you, motivational moment for shop owners. And I'm 321. Sometimes you just don't have the personality where you are standing in a position where you're being given, where you're receiving praise. Your everyday life might be running through the day, getting through the day, and even you giving praise may be a difficult thing to find in your everyday. It doesn't seem that way, right? Because, of course, we should be being grateful, but being grateful, of course, is different than giving praise. And the absolute trust that one has toward you when they give praise has so many elements to elevate you for another trial, another tribulation. Praise is really something else. It is so of value when it is coming from tenderness, trustworthiness, connection, time in the relationship. And I want you to be thinking about these things as you would need to give praise in ways that you find appropriate to your customer. How do you do that? Gee, thanks, Sandra, with an X. No, that is not giving praise. Giving praise is giving pause to elevate that person, that idea, that moment in your life. It is not a skill, it is through repetition and willingness, even in the most frail moments, frailties. You're frantic, life is chaotic, it's completely out of control. The last thing that you're going to flip through is that, oh, yeah, shit, I didn't give praise today, right? Because it's not a religious moment. It's actually one in which it engages all, one after the other, all of the things that build us up for each other. Give praise. We'll talk more about this. You're wonderful. You really are. Okay, bye bye now. Okay, so the motivational moments, just so you guys, when you're hearing them, we've done several of them now, and they're worth, I look at the transcription, I see what more I might have been able to do. I can see that, beauty, these are really crackly thoughts. These are those thoughts that, when you turn your neck a certain way and you can hear that little bit of crackle. That's how these motivational moments are for me. They're little crackles of thought that haven't really been TED talked out. So, you know, thank you guys for allowing me to explore. Not everyone is good. I don't know if at the end of this that any of it has a that motivation has actually been applied, because it seems like it would be pretty natural that you would want to motivate people. That just seems practical to me, just in every day. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it's harsh, and people would have all sorts of ideas about how can you motivate someone when you're telling them to, when you're kicking them in the ass. How's that possibly motivation? Is it coaching? I don't think it's coaching. Is it life? Someone asked me years ago, so what are you, some kind of a life coach? Okay, I'm living my life, and so are you. That's pretty obvious. Someone in your life coached you through putting your pants on. So I don't know why it's inappropriate for me to coach you to keep them on. Is there like does that mean I'm a life coach? I don't think so. There's things that you know that you need to share with me. So let's make that happen. Is that so? Now I'm coaching. Okay, then I've gone through periods. Well, she's just a mother goose. Stop mother goosing me. I don't need. You're not my mother. You're not my girlfriend. You're none of those things. You're some lady on the internet with some goofy name. So I don't know where it's going to go. And really, like right now, it doesn't matter, because even if it was to turn into a porch sign, which in my world on Etsy, it might turn into a purse charm, a porch sign, a little what they call shelf sentiments. I don't know. I have no idea. Right? This is all about exploration. So that's a good thing. All right. Who wants to hear what Beauty has to say about Etsy? The stock. The stock. All right. Let's take the run of show down because everybody kind of knows what's going on. And bring that guy down and open up. First off, we will take a look at. Well, we don't want that to be a dark screen now, do we? So hold on. Let me get my voice bubble up there. I want to make sure that I'm bringing up the right one. And there's the Etsy chart right there. Okay. Let's start off with removing that. And the trading view will be the very first one. And here we go. All right. So this is where we ended up end of Friday. And we were showcasing a 5-minute chart. So the day was, I think maybe you guys are pretty hip to this by now. So on the 5-minute bars, the trade has been short. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute bar. Let's do a 30-minute bar. Okay. A 30-minute bar was flat on the day. So we have a short bias and flat. Go to the hour, we're back to short. Certainly not flat. This goes back to the 11th. Certainly, I'm sorry, yeah, March for a month ago. So certainly the trade has been biased short. We go to the 4-hour bar tremendously if you have been in the trade for since this showcases us back to December 26th of 2023. You have been short in the trade if you were buying up here and then owning it down here. Just so that you guys are clear that when we're looking at a 1 minute bar, the trade is short on the 1 minute, and it was so from the beginning of the trade yesterday. And yet at the end of the day, remember this is a Friday, so look at the far right of the chart. I'll bring this down a little bit here. Can you guys see? Did I bring the chart up? Dang it. Did I bring the chart? Oh, yeah. Let me make this larger for you guys so you don't have to see me there. So often at the end of a day, it can be at the end of the day where there may be news coming in, um, accounts are being closed out. They're beginning to be closed out way, way early in the day. Sometimes junior traders are in this, especially in the springtime, there's spring break. There's a lot of senior traders that may have been taking the weekend off, not because of it's a holiday or anything, but just because their schedules are busy. And so junior traders will come in and they'll try to lift the trade up. What they did with this one was that they lifted it up, but then they whacked it off a half of a percentage point after the close, which is where traders such as myself are allowed to trade. So the typical retail trader is not trading in pre-market or after hours trading. So it's a Friday, the junior traders are in, they pump up the price to lop off the heads, just so that you can see that. Now, you could say, oh, Beauty, that's just total conspiracy. It's okay. It's okay that you think that. What's really cool about the market is that you, in all of the ways that you are, get to come up with a narrative of your own. Because number one, the market will show you who you are. The market will never show you what you know. So when I'm being kind of cutesy about, I told you that this was going to happen, these are projections based on my experience. So let's say you have no experience, but you heard from a guru. You have no experience, but you think that you can manage the market, right? You're good at money managing. These are all things that you need to really accept that you will never be as large as the market, ever. The market will show you who you are. If you are at a crossroads in your life and you need a wake up and you don't want to jump out of an airplane and learn how to parachute. You know, a lot of guys they'll break up with a girl and the first thing they'll do is decide they'll jump out of an airplane. Do you hang around people like that? Or they'll go to Bali, they'll go to Thailand. Yeah, they go to Thailand to just, wash it off, especially if it's a bad breakup. Well, one of the better things to do, because it's a lot cleaner and there's no blood involved, go ahead and find a stock that you like. There's all sorts of ways of finding a stock that you live with every single day and have a little bit of a forecast. You're going to either, you're going to buy long, you're going to hold on to it for 3 months. And no matter what happens, you're just going to let it roll off. Oh, but you're not going to do it that way at all. You're going to buy in, and all of a sudden, you're going to say, you know what? I think I want some more. And then I think this thing is going up. I mean, you can just see it, Beauty. It's gonna go up. This thing is gonna just take a rocket ship, and then I'm gonna sell. Okay. The frequency of that happening is zero because the market will show you who you are in every tick of itself. And most of the time, it does not reward you for being right. You won't be able to get your phone. Your phone will be locked up, so you can't trade. You have a 4 monitor setup, and all of a sudden, all your monitors are dark. But you got to get in there, man, to execute that trade, execute that sale, man. And then you fall asleep. You get into an argument, with your dog sitter. I don't know. Something will happen to make sure that whatever your ideas are, they're wrong. And that is the cruelty of the market. And if you want to get right with yourself, go ahead and jump in. It's just an idea. It's just my opinion. So Etsy fell off. I will tell you guys, the close was at 6704. After hours, this is weird. The close was at after hours 66.75, down a half a point. But the close was at 6704 at 199. So we have to look at the timing on that. After hours was down 0.45%. Yeah. So the close is at 6704, and then after hours took it down another 0.45 to 66.75. And we really have a $66 absolute has to figure itself out, if you remember from last week. Let me empty the tab out there so we can get a little bit more clean about things. What we might do is remind you that the black line is the 243 on the fixed, Ruby's 243 EMA on the fixed. And this is what we're really trying to completely avoid going under. And there we go on that. Okay, there's the chart. I said I didn't think I needed to cover the chart, but because of the way that they handled the Friday close, I wanted to make sure you guys saw all that. Okay, the next part of the puzzle then is, stop sharing that, is, yeah, I think we'll do the website now so that we can be into the persona without changing horses there. So Etsy was founded in 2005. Who is ready to see their website? I am. It is nuts to imagine that this is where we were in 2005 on the internet when Etsy went live. You guys ready for this? Do we not miss web pages like this? I don't know. I think I do. I really do. I think that this is just the most thrilling part of all of this is that word beta right next to Etsy. That word beta is crazy making. Just so that you know, we're going to read here. I'm going to tell you. All right. I'm going to go back to a 12-month chart. And this is, of course, when they went public. All right. They went public 10 years after they built the website in 2015. They went public and the trade was at $8.55. $8.55. They had their COVID high at $218.94. But remember, 10 years after the website. So we're just going to take a walk down memory lane here because I don't know. I think I just want a website that looks like this. I truly do. But, they had their buy categories and their sell categories. And they just very simply put with these icons too. You just have to love it, right? The leather satchel, the little beaded, Chenlu necklace, salt and pepper shakers or nativity dolls or whatever, and then I guess full blown furniture. Your place to buy and sell all things handmade. Let's be happy for each other. We just opened. First month special, no fees at all. You could list items for free and no sales fees either until July 1st, 2005. Okay. But this is where it all ends up here. Your place to buy and sell all things handmade. And this is the critical fracture of where Etsy is today. Because the CEO right now does not believe that anyone is saying, I waking up, I think the quote is more like this, that they're waking up today saying, I want to buy something handmade. He does not think that that is happening now, this many years later, that this whole notion of handmade is kind of like, handmaiden or something. I don't know. Because, handmade are all of the wonderful festivals and flea markets. And maybe you grew up with those in your neighborhood, you know, especially like the festivals. And we had the bonsai festival in Palo Alto, and there were so many things that were handcrafted by potters and so many the textile designers, um, the carvings. If you've ever been to that festival in the day, it was just marvelous. We also had the San Jose. Um, It was the flea market, but they called it because it was just fields and fields, and now I can't remember what it was called. So you would go through the orange groves in those days, and then you'd come up upon the San Jose. Not it obviously wasn't a convention center. It was like a little rodeo kind of, and all of the vendors from everywhere. I mean, just every kind of fruit and vegetable and candies and the nuns would come down from Monterey with the fudge and everything like that. So, handmade was never something that was an unattractive way to be thinking. But apparently he thinks now that being handmade is is not sus, but um that this whole idea of something being crafted by your hand has to be reinvented. It's been a busy couple of months, and we're proud to announce our grand opening. This is a site by crafters, for crafters, made by the creators of, and I love this, getcrafty.com. Who would not want to have that website right now? With help from Leah, personal touch here of crafters.org. As you can see, the site looks a bit empty at the moment because of the categories, they had, oh, it doesn't even tell you how many. There were no listings under woodworking. There was only one quilt. I can't. Hold me back. Hold me back. I just cannot. I think I'd probably need to loop around and say hello to some of the watchers out here. Over on X, you guys are the super love bugs. Thank you for engaging by viewing today. I really appreciate it. Twitch, you're always in there for me. Thank you to the Stream Elements team for offering up their little bot for me to go live. I appreciate that. Looks gorgeous. Twitch always doing it so well. And over on YouTube, if you are out there listening, make the connections now to the person that is in my chat being active. He's being active in my chat. He's being very chatty, and I know that you would love to connect with him. If you use your voice, you need to come over to my YouTube channel, plunk yourself in, and say hello to Rob Greenlee. And this is why the motivational moment today was about giving praise and what happens in your life when you give praise. And sometimes it does feel as though you are a diamond hunter. You know that things only happen over time with pressure done perfectly. And then something wonderful comes out of it, from it, with it. And you are in sync now with all of the work that you did before. And Rob Greenlee understands this approach to our connections with one another in life. So come on over. Do not be shy at all. Now is not the time to be shy. No, no, no. So if you can hear me, you need to jump on in. And I know that there's a few of you, especially over at X. Come on now. You're picking up my little breadcrumbs over at X. You can certainly plunk yourself over to YouTube and say good day and good everything to Mr. Rob Greenlee. Okay, so, and Rob makes a very interesting point about this website, that it looks like Craigslist. Yeah, yeah. I don't think this was not a stretch. You know how like websites are this big stretch now, and you've got web. It's like so hard, right, to have a website that you really love. This is why like Shopify does really well, and got you're in the life of templates and plugins and all of that. So uh, this is why I say I would love to have this website. I think that they should do some A/B testing and just return to this, even if it was just for a season, just a quarter, just to see. They go on to say, remember, this is their marketing pitch. As you can see, the site looks a bit empty at the moment. So please sign up and start listing your items. We'll be promoting the site at the Indie Craft Experience Fair in Atlanta and the Renegade Craft Fair in Brooklyn. I just can't. Just to get started. And we're throwing a party in Brooklyn on June 25th for crafters to meet each other. Remember that date. What date are we launching our shop? June 25th. So they even back then understood that the fourth quarter would be when crafters and makers, remember they say it's crafters for crafters, made by the creators, when crafters are able to display their products and sell their products to accommodate the fourth quarter gifting season. Now, Christmas in July is the big one, the big marketing bonanzas that happen on all the sites, from QVC, to Nordstrom. Big doings for the July 25th. But the month before, we personally wanted to give ourselves a good month before that was to happen, so that we can we're really in observance. So, but they said June 25th for crafters to meet each other. To meet each other. If you have any questions or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned over the next month for lots of enhancements and snazzy new features. Start selling now with the hover link. Soon we'll be featuring your items on the home page. So list something now and see it here soon. I mean, can we just come back? Popular materials back then were silver, paper, yarn, and cotton. Popular pardon me, popular tags were cute crochet earrings, silver. I just can't. I am so in love with this. The categories were design and art, e-commerce, 2005, and clean. They got they were in the clean category. I think so. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure they were clean. Oh man, let's just drink this in. What what a time to be alive, honestly. So that's Etsy. Let me go ahead and stop the share on that and up so that you can see the voice bubble yet again. All right, let's do where we're at. The gift mode persona of the day explored. It happens to be one of our favorite personas ever in life because we hear a lot about it. It's the vegetarian. It is the vegetarian persona. And we will go into Etsy in an incognito window. I don't know if we really have to do that anymore. Do we have to do that? Hold on just a moment. Let's just, I guess we will anyway. All right, go into an incognito window. If you are a shop owner, this is where you should go when you are poking around the gift mode personas out there. But why do it when you can do it with me? Just saying. All righty. Bring him ups. Okay, this is the Etsy homepage as we see it this morning, today. And they're still, they dropped down the Mother's Day. Mother's Day has been eked over here. This had been a banner for Mother's Day. So, of course, it reads up to 30% off home sales event and soon's shop decor, which had been the number one search phrase in last month. But, if Etsy pushes a search phrase out like they would do here, it's obvious, right? Decor is going to end up being at the data collection, third party data collection sites like eRank for a number one search because they're able to reach more people, if they put that hover over there. So you're going to see up above here with the little gift box the words gift mode. And this is where we have been living for a while now as we bring, I think I love my content. I don't know. Of course, I've always loved to be a better communicator, but I just love the content because there's over 200 personas. There were 193 that were documented just by name in February, but there are over 200. So by the time we get through this, we are going to, as sellers, have a very clear understanding of the who, what, why, where, and when of the crafts that we're building, products that we're um, forming, especially for like the digital products, so we're just going to have a much better idea as to really how people are shopping on Etsy. So it's a good thing. Get inspired. Now we are going for the vegetarian, and we know that this is all by alphabetical order. So we will just, I think, page 6, QRV, STUV. Where are we? Elemental P, Q, R, V. Ooh, they changed it. STUV. Oh boy, it's going to be page 7. STU and V. Here is the vegetarian. Do you see him? Let's go view the tab there. See the vegetarian. All right. Okay. So we did find the cover girl, the vegetarian. We are going to go into the actual page in just a moment. And this is when I start to lose a little bit of authority over how I'm managing the show. So the vegetarian, something for the green loving eater. The vegetarian, something for the And we will go ahead and make a banner for this one so we can stay clear of where we are. And let me make sure the punctuation is right there. Something for the green. And just do a colon, I think. Okay. The cover girl on the right, we were able to locate, and I have that shop. Actually, how I locate in case you guys are doing this on your own. So this is kind of where we're at, right? Let me remove him and grab the. Do you notice how I'm struggling a little bit now, guys? See, I have all my tabs up, but the show starts to suffer just a little bit. And I'm not really too sure exactly why. There's the vegetarian. Here is the um, oh, it's the Google Lens. Sorry. Okay, I'll remember that next time. Okay, so here we are with the cover girl. Right away, this cover girl for the vegetarian does not work like this with every persona. The cover girl went right over in Google Images and located, thank goodness, located the cover girl right here, cloth radish ecological plush. We are going to be going into her shop. When you're over at the vegetarian, remember this, I'm speaking to you as a shop owner. The cover girl that is used by Etsy to identify the vegetarian persona, the gift mode vegetarian persona, none of those photographs are hover linked, nor do you hover and then get that little drop box of the description of even what you're looking at. Not every item is available even online. It's some sort of a dummy picture, um, which I would not understand why. Now, it makes sense to not bombard the shop owner. However, if the shop owner knew that they were going to be a cover girl, then there could be, the vegetarian cover girl product. And even if there were only 5 that were made, well, you sell out of the 5, and that's good because there's another cover girl that's worthy of, selling 5 items. Do you guys follow what I'm saying? So not so sure about that. And that's why I love to love on these cover girls because these people are, each of them are absolutely marvelous and they were handpicked by Etsy. Not just an Etsy pick now, they were handpicked to represent the vegetarian persona. So that's more than 200 shops. So here we go. Here they are. Creatourus, 5-star seller, considered a rare find. It's an Etsy pick. It says so up here. Beautifully photographed. Look at this photography. Each and every one. A lot of pictures. They're all done beautifully. The shop is a 5-star seller. Very simply put, description cloth radish, ecological plush decorative vegetable. I love that. It talks about, it is handmade. Here we go. See, it's still, the handmade still is offered inside of Etsy. Gift wrapping available. Here are the details. This cute little vegetable has a linen string sewn into it, so you can hang it wherever you like. It's a perfect gift for any age and makes a great gift for both decorating and playing. Handmade, hand embroidered. She gives the dimensions. The most recent review, lengthy review that she got was January. So this is all super good. She has 14 reviews. Is she a newer seller? So let's go into the seller page itself. Adorable banner. Here she is over here, Mary Fosis. Very simply put, handmade dolls from Valencia, Spain. And here are all of her items. She has 44 items, and I guess, I can't tell you how long. We know that her last announcement was 2 year, well, almost over a year ago. Super adorable. Love this. I love this whole kind of minimalist approach to the banners, because she stayed true, to the whole idea. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. Yeah, it matches. Rob is making some comments over at YouTube, and that through his eye, I may have been speaking about the website too. That this sort of simplicity, I don't know, because we've already gone through this minimalist phase, and you get minimalism too if you really like mid-century. Now, piling mid-century onto mid-century is something other than mid-century. You're more of eclectic collector. But I'm wondering if on a website like Etsy, and if you are a shop owner, avoiding, or because it's more difficult the simpler you try and get, the more difficult it is, because you're having to step away from, traditional ideas of over marketing, and, your banner's got to say everything. And if your banner doesn't have all this stuff on it, then you're not representing yourself very well. But when you really look at this, um, she has the whole idea of fabrics just on a little bench, selecting fabrics, and this whole stitcheroo thing goes with her her label. So hold on just a moment. I'll be on mute for just a second. So we very much like her, and want to lift her up a little bit. Creatoris, I love that. I have no idea what that means. I think I'm going to look it up. Creatoris. Creatoris. Item by Creatoris. Creatoris. Oh, wow. There's actually maybe it's the workshop. So maybe she works out of it says, a creatura is not a plant. It says you can refer to any living thing that is not a plant as a creature. That's I don't know. Wait a minute. Creature, living being, especially an animal. That's the creatura. If somebody calls you creatura, is it offensive? They say that this meaning of criatura does not exist. Of course, maybe it's Castilian, so what would it be? Criatura, cria. Let me see. Does not exist in the English word creature, and it is not offensive at all, but affectionate. I love that. Okay. They say that maybe it's more Portuguese than Spanish. Goes on to say, from this root, we can see that criatura and creature did not originally have a relation to the word monster. Um, so very interesting. And to call her shop that is just absolutely adorbs, as they would say. So we like that. Okay, let's move on. Let me stop sharing the original Etsy. I need to do a little bit of house cleaning here, guys. So just give me a moment. Give me a second here. So we understand the shop name, and okay. So we're going to keep going on with the persona. Don't lose track. All right. Let me get back to the vegetarian window and present the vegetarian window here. Okay, cloth Spanish, the vegetarian. We're going to take a little bit of a step back. So, for those of you that don't follow quite what's happening here, aren't you on Etsy? What are we doing? Are we shopping? We're shopping for the vegetarian. How could that be? This is the premise. Etsy in November announced that it was going to be pushing a feature called gift mode. And as part of pushing the feature, at the same time, they decided that they would invest in a Super Bowl commercial focused on gift mode. And the commercial was about when the French gave the Statue of Liberty to America. And the Americans were so like, they saw it coming into the harbor and they were like, holy, what are we going to give them in return? Well, we got to get them something. And so, how are we going to find that something? Well, we need to go to Etsy. So, the CEO wants to very much have Etsy be the the supreme location, the absolute top of mind location where all of us will go to find the perfect gift. And of course, it's not good enough shopping for Mother's Day gift. That is just not enough. They've learned that people, they'll look and stay on the site looking and looking for the perfect gift. So the gift mode personas, of which there are over 200 of them, the vegetarian is the one we're covering today. The entire idea of gift mode is to provide this AI experience so that you will come to a resting place. And the way I'm putting it is that you will have gifting confidence, that through going through all of this, there is very little chance that your recipient is going to be disappointed, unhappy, thinking that they got cheated out, so forth, like that. The gift and gifts that you present will be absolutely perfectly aligned with the recipients, their interests, what they do every day, how they think, all of it. So the vegetarian, in their wisdom, starts off with handmade soap sets. That tells us a lot, doesn't it? That people are looking for fresh ingredients, being mindful about the zero waste, and made with authentic ingredients, natural ingredients. So you see a lot of handmade soap sets here, different price points from $37 all the way down to $6.50, I believe. And these are pics. See if you've never seen an Etsy video, here are the videos that you can upload on Etsy, and you can get very detailed, and some of the videos are actually quite beautiful. Here's the person packing and making sure this is confidence building, because you know that each of your packages are managed, by hand and with loving care. So, and also you can show more. The next one would be vegan leather accessories. Once again, the same sort of thing. Prices are all over the place. The mock ups, the photography, the build quality, and, just beautifully put. Something that I did notice, and I'm beginning to notice, is that let me go up here for just a moment. So you can see the colors that are being used for the vegetarian. Once you drop down, it's all of that is bygone. There's no symbolism of that gift mode after you drop down at all visually. Zero. They didn't lead it with the toys, they led it with the soap. Now, does this all matter? Yes. If you're spending time on Etsy, if you are a serial gift giver and the idea is that you are on the website and you are returning several times a month to buy your gifts, I do think it does matter. Veg- Vegetable themed kitchen prints. This is more aligned with what's up above in the banner. This is more aligned. This print here is more aligned. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Can I oh yeah, okay. View tab. There we go. Just want to make sure that I don't mess up here. Okay, down below again, wooden kitchen supplies. This category, wooden kitchen supplies, gorgeous things. You will notice this style of product is repeated. You may not see the hemp, not hemp sack, but like the canvas bags and things, but you will see the marble background, the Boston fern, the lavender hulls, and that sort of thing on other personas. This is maybe more specific. Cruelty free beauty gift boxes would fall under the vegetarian persona. That definitely makes sense. But I don't think that they are verifying that any of these things are, especially in the essential oils world, a lot of controversy with essential oils and the way that they're extracted and the chemicals that are used and that sort of thing. So, but cruelty free, I do believe you cannot say that it's cruelty free if it is not. So, wonderful exploration here with cruelty free beauty gifts. So, the categories up above, I don't know what Etsy actually calls them. However, all of these are what are called action groups. And these action groups match up with the personas. So, related inspiration for the vegetarian. And Etsy does believe that one, of course, you can always move forward, but these delivered here that the vegetarian would be a tea drinker, the vegetarian would be a cheese lover, and so forth and so on. So you can drill down even more. The vegetarian persona is the very first time that we see an influencer come in as an action group label. The very, very first time. So this would be Drew Barrymore's favorites. We know that they have a celebrity influencer relationship with Drew Barrymore. And so these are her favorites. Now, I don't know if you get into here, if we can locate exactly Barrymore's favorites, because these are action groups, these are personas. So we might want to take a note and follow through on that. Do they favorite a place? The Chicago local, the New Yorker, and so forth. Once again, more action groups for you to go through and drill through as a shopper. As a shop owner, you, in my thinking, you have to be able to understand where your product lines up with Etsy's philosophy about being the location, the supreme location for people to come when they are shopping for gifts. Remember, Josh Silverman said, people are not waking up in the morning looking at their diary, looking at their journal, their to-do list today, and it says, shop for something handmade. No, it will say, shop for Vienna as she's celebrating her graduation, but you know that she's celebrating her graduation, but she's really she's a vegetarian, and now we have to kind of make sure that we honor that, and that's sort of the philosophy. They I do have to say in this way, they claim that this flow is AI driven, and however, this seems to be more of a matching engine, but I'm still learning, and I want to keep learning about this as a future shop owner at Etsy. Okay, let's go ahead and bring that down. Remove that just to make sure that we're all good on that. Everybody understand the vegetarian persona? Do you agree with this? These, can you imagine that you would be looking for something else under the vegetarian? Are you a vegetarian yourself? And now that you know that this is how people find gifts for you, are you, put it back because it didn't include a particular action group? A lot to think about in the way that we connect with one another over gifts. Very important. Gifts are important. Giving is important. hmm And it's hard. And Etsy's trying to make it easier so that you will enjoy it and do it more frequently. Okay, let us go back to the run of show just to make sure that we've covered everything today and remove that. I'm still not too sure what we're going to, call the show. I hate to say what we're going to call the show. I'm so over all of that. I go live in the morning and I go live at night, and that's what it is. So, um, I know that a lot of the Etsy people that cover Etsy on YouTube, they really rely on the clickbait. It doesn't even matter. There's some people that are, it's not Etsy specific. They come in, a lot of them are shop owners, and they found out that they would rather talk about Etsy than running a store. So there's a little disconnect between people using their proper names, people using maybe other outreaches that they worked on before. As you guys know, I've come online as Beauty Bubble since day one. And I don't even think we're going to be opening up a special. Oh, as a matter of what am I doing? What am I? You guys need to be listening to me while I'm in my shop. What am I doing? Let me get in there. Yeah. Oh yeah. We talked about. I revealed this last night. Actually, I revealed this yesterday. If you'd stayed on the live long enough, okay. You see, that's me. Wild, huh? I'm inside of Etsy, talking to you, sharing with you what's on my mind, what I'm selling today. As a matter of fact, I am going to edit my avatar, and I'm going to edit it so hard that I'm going to put up the purse charm from Hazelcroft Littles, and there you go. And now I'm showcasing Hazelcroft Littles in the alphabet letter bubble, alphabet letter D, and it's marvelous when you actually see it in person. It's absolutely adorable. And we put enough hardware on there and enough heartware on the design, and I hope that you will enjoy embellishing a knapsack, your book bag, a purse, your workout satchel with our Hazelcroft Littles and Tiny Sentiments purse charms. When you add a sentiment to this, it's way fun. So yesterday I worked on a lot of bridal sentiments. So, bride to be, can't wait to love on you, that sort of thing. Little sentiments that you can add on to the ball chain. Everything made in the US, including the ball chain, the rivets. The wood comes from a manufacturer. We use basswood, and then on the back side is a walnut veneer. They're all made by me, and Quiet does all the rivet work, does all the hardware work, and the gluing. But I do the designs, and I put them on the laser printer. I keep saying laser print. It's a laser engraver, and there's all the laser engraver things to work out and play with, but that is our deal launching in June. It's very simple things, learning. This is what we've decided to do in order to understand Etsy as a company. And are those 2005 values still somehow built in here and it's lost its way with print on demand, which is just everywhere, and, overuse of digital downloads and that sort of thing. So Etsy's at a very, as you can see with the stock, at such a critical, um, and it's easy for me to say, oh, it's at a critical juncture, but the the guru on YouTube has taken such a cruel and negative, I mean, it is bad, people, how they talk shit about Etsy. And I just early on thought, you know what? I want to speak my honest self about what I'm seeing. The banners not matching the products and things that are just kind of, maybe in a design meeting, it would be one point and someone would go, move on, beauty, well, we're going to move on to fonts now. But we must, especially when it comes to speaking about a company in these more kind of generic terms, like what the hell they think they're doing and stuff. If you've got that and you've got an audience, we're talking about tens of thousands of people these Etsy gurus have, and praise them. We need them. We need them talking about Etsy, but then there's no one else that's talking about the positive stories that are out there, how the CEO is trying to, this is a sea change really happening. He's trying to embrace newer technologies inside. And I think for me, that's much more exciting. And for the people that I'm around, that's much more exciting because there's plenty of times that you can get on and talk crap about stuff top to bottom. And you need to do that. But when you have that kind of an outreach, I think maybe you need to have a little bit more leveled, you know, more of a balanced personality. So the secret weapon here is I do believe, and it will be the biggest pitch of my life, is that Etsy will have a component where the shop owners can go live inside of their listing and they can talk about their products, where you will see sincerity, where you will see excitement, and you will have a connection, a direct connection to your customer, unlike any other thing that you've seen in sales. That is what I think. Will I get an opportunity to be heard on this? I don't know. I'm just going to keep speaking the praises of Etsy, what I'm experiencing, what I'm seeing, exploring all the personas. And I don't know. I think that's really cool. I don't know about you. I think it's marvelous and I'm just going to keep at it. That's me though. So as we kind of close things out, I played around with a couple of ways to say goodbye. And there was one thing that I said a couple of days in a row, which was something like, um, may may your way hit the airwaves or something like that. And I haven't taken it over to Gemini to see if there's a way that I can close out the show in a more pleasant way because we have this long running conversation. So Gemini knows everything about everything with Hazelcroft Littles and the personality of what I'm looking for um, through my prompts. So all I can do for today is to make sure that you know that however it is that you do it, try to be in alignment with something else. It's okay to be a creative. when you go a little bit too far away from the source, in this case, the source of the light is Etsy. When you go too far afield, you can get lost and get caught up in things that do not help feed and fuel your family. And with that, I'll close the show up now. I so much care about all of you. Talk to you soon. Bye bye now. Of course, you buy your gifts on Etsy because you're buying for people that are interesting in your life and maybe picky or, as they say, hard to shop for, or you are known for being able to locate that perfect gift for the recipient. So they are really wanting to reign supreme. And so they built this search engine of sorts that walks you through almost like you're being interviewed. So you're shopping for a bird watcher. You are rather sensitive. You want to make sure that Etsy favors these. So maybe this was the reason that they put the Etsy pics there, so people have a little bit more shopping confidence, and or they interested in jewelry and or stained glass, etc. So it makes it more, well, first of all, it's a wonderful little search engine. We are going to try and pull up. I know I closed out the show, so this is like outtakes for those of you that have stayed long enough. I'm going to pull up my last upload on YouTube and play it here on the show and see what happens. Make sure that I know exactly how to do that, okay? I'll be on mute. We get to chat. I'm simply going to put this. People want to fill the void where connection is lacking. When I first came out onto the internet, I had a website called Chart Chat Connect, where there are no gurus. You get to chart what you're looking at. We get to chat about what we see, and we get to connect with one another so that we have a stronger sense of decision making. Yep, chart, chat, connect. The one thing, it's not how entertained you are. Don't fall into that ridiculous trap. And you probably have, right? Unless you're giggling about this or whatever, you're not interested. You don't have, you don't want, oh, there is something that you want. And it is actually my job and everyone else that decides to hit the darn button. It is on us to make that connection with you long enough so that you'll want to do it again. And it happens in retail. People want repeat buyers. You know how difficult it is to get a new buyer? How hard that is? No, you want repeat buyers. You want people that have decided to lean in and love on what you have to offer. So, we're at the last piece of this. That's what it really is. Content is not content without connection. Now, to archive who you are, I think this is very powerful for anybody to want to lift their voice. Everyone has always heard that about me. When you get an opportunity to lift your voice and you can lift up and above the trolls, when you can lift up and above the trolls and that you are still there, oh, you're fighting for your throat chakra. Believe you me, I do it every day where I'm fighting against my nerves. Do I really have that thing in me to say long enough? Do I have that in me long enough to literally walk over the trolls, walk over the numbers, the quality of my stream, the level of cringe? Do I have it in me to do that? And that is the last vision of all of this. It's not the X's and O's that we see. It's the it's the X's and O with a big heart in the middle and loving and kissing and hugging and dancing and all of that. That is the content here. It's the connection. That's the last bastion. We don't do this right. If we don't collaborate with one another, if we don't share with one another, if we don't love with one another, if we don't uplift in one another, if we don't give each other the absolute best. And I am not talking about toxic positivity. I'm talking about where you are really helping one another, lifting one another up, not taking any crap, not finding yourself having to deal with people that can't spell, don't want to learn how to spell. And the only thing that they want to do is get off. They want to get off because they have not made the connection. And you'll hold on to employees, you'll hold on to friendships, you'll hold on to certain decisions you've made in your life about how you feed and fuel yourself every day. And it only means that you have lost the connection. And finding it back again, plugging it back again, rewiring it back, fixing it, fueling it, making it happen. This is where I think that this next move is going to be for all of us. I'm simply going to put this. People want to fill the void where connection is lacking. When I first came out onto the internet, I had a website called Chart Chat Connect, where there are no gurus. You get to chart what you're looking at. We get to chat about what we see, and we get to connect with one another so that we have a stronger sense of decision making. Yep, chart, chat, connect. The one thing, it's not how entertained you are. Don't fall into that ridiculous trap. And you probably have, right? Unless you're giggling about this or whatever, you're not interested. You don't have, you don't want, oh, there is something that you want. And it is actually my job and everyone else that decides to hit the darn button. It is on us to make that connection with you long enough so that you'll want to do it again. And it happens in retail. People want repeat buyers. You know how difficult it is to get a new buyer? How hard that is?